Hi, I'm Mrs. D Math. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be estimating the square root in 8th grade math. Before we can estimate the square root, let's go ahead and review what a square root is. And in order to find the square root, it is the opposite of squaring a number. So if I had the number 4 squared, that's going to equal 16. If I take the square root of 16, it's going to equal 4. So we have 16 inside the radical, so the square root of 16 is 4 because 4 times 4 equals 16. So it's easy to find the square root when we have perfect squares. We call them perfect squares because there is a whole number answer when we find the square root of the number. So the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 25 equals 5. Those are pretty simple. So you may be wondering, what do I do in order to find the square root of a number that's not a perfect square? So in this case, we have to estimate the square root of an irrational number. So let's see. For this problem, we would have the square root of 3. Well, the square root of 3 is not a perfect square, but I do know that the perfect square that is less than 3 is going to be 1, and the perfect square that is greater than 3 is 4. And the square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 4 is 2. Therefore, the square root of 3 falls somewhere between 1 and 2. So if we measure based on our half here, I can look at the number 3 and 1, and from 3 to 1 is 2 places, and from 3 to 4 is 1 place. So I know that the square root of 3 is going to fall closer to the 2 than the 1. So this is going to be approximately 1.6. It doesn't have to be exact, and if you ever want to check exactly what it would be, you would just use a calculator and plug it in to see what it would end up being. So let's try another one. Let's say that we want to try the square root of 11. So I know that the perfect square before 11 is 9, and the perfect square after 11 is 16. The square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 16 is 4. So I know the square root of 11 has to fall somewhere between 3 and 4. So again, 11 to 9 is 2 places. 11 to 16 is 5 places. So I do know that the square root of 11 is going to be closer to 3 than to 4. So I would estimate the square root of 11 to be approximately 3.3. Again, you can always double check with a calculator to get an exact number, but it is going to be a decimal that does not repeat and does not terminate. So it's better just to estimate and round to the nearest tenth. I hope this short video helped you today on understanding how to estimate the square root of an irrational number. I am Mrs. D Math. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a great day.